MMU, is a School of Digital Arts. It's called SODA. We are working on use case 1 with heritage or around heritage, and looking at the creation and collaboration of students on digital assets for Daphne Plus. It's an important part of Daphne because we reach out to prosumers, we reach out to students, we reach out to staff and all our attendant industry partners who work with us in terms of some of the projects that we're doing around Daphne. So things like the Creative Jam, for example, and some of the questionnaires that we've undertaken with industry professionals such as BBC, for example, and games companies. So it's a really good way of getting out into a community of makers and cultural producers who are absolutely, involved in digital arts and digital creative projects. In terms of Daphne, is really interesting for the School of Digital Arts because it acts as a really, boundary-breaking research project that allows staff and students and industry partners to work together on NFT culture. Obviously, this is a really burgeoning, newish culture that we're working within, and it changes very quickly. And our students really benefit, as do our staff, from being involved with a wider community of practitioners, theorists, and industrial partners. More specifically, I think the Daphne project really probes at really interesting questions that are happening for all creators right now, in terms of ownership, in terms of copyright, in terms of IP, in terms of trustworthiness, in terms of remuneration, and how all these things are changing because of the speed of change within digital technologies. So, if you think about smart contracts, for example, the capacity to be able to produce something and properly remunerate somebody, and it's written into the contract, this is really new. Collaborating with communities, for example, and being able to produce something with 5-10 people. In the past, when that's happened and cultural producers and artists have done that, I don't think people have been fairly remunerated, and now there's a technical capacity to be able to write that into the contract. I think that's a massive shift in the way we think about collaborating with people, and more specifically, fairly collaborating with people. I think that's really important. The ethics and morality of collaboration have been wanting, I think, for a long time within the West. I know certainly in the UK, America, Canada, where I've worked before, that's the case. And projects like Daphne are really interesting because the questions that we're asking and that we're probing at in terms of smart contracts and trustworthiness and responsibility towards users, these are really important questions. And I think they're the kind of questions that students are really intrigued by, and they're important to them for obvious reasons. They're about their careers. These are the kinds of questions that they're going to be asking of themselves and their partners going forward. So the fact that we're trying to help solve some of those problems, or produce research and produce products that could help make their working lives better, more fruitful, again, fairer, I think is massively beneficial. And of course, again, the kind of research we're doing puts us into contact with people in a similar space, which comes back in more abstract ways back into the university. But it does come back because of the types of people we need to speak to. So again, it's beneficial on many levels: the technical level, socio-political level, economic level. There's lots of different levels in terms of the way the good things come back.